Ron Carter, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Johnny, would you pray for us, please?
Let us pray. Father, we come before you today in celebration of all the wonderful gifts you've placed upon each of us. We ask that we are able to use those gifts to the service of mankind and to your glory. We ask that you be with us, with our troops, as they serve abroad, with the people in France in their tragedy. We ask that somehow these situations be resolved. Bless this food and our lives in the coming week. In Christ's name, amen.
I don't see Nelson and I don't see Carter, so I guess I'm it. We did such a good job last week at My Country 'Tis of Thee, so let's do it again.
My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side, let freedom ring.
Okay, happy Monday, everybody. I'm glad that you're all here. We have a couple of birthdays this week. On the 17th, Andrew Brock will be having a birthday. I don't see him here today, but if you see him out, wish Andy a happy birthday. And Tim Bruner's birthday is on the 18th. So if you should have any contact with him, wish him a happy birthday. And then also, Penny Reuter has a birthday on the 18th.
That's a big one.
Happy birthday, Penny. Is it 25 again? Is that what you said? Okay. Johnny, are you ready to give the Sergeant at Arms report?
Yeah.
Report. Whoever stole my list last week, thanks for returning it. It magically appeared in my folder.
Oh, that's a good place for it.
So our president always likes for me to tell a story. Has anyone ever been to New York City? Sure have. Have you ever ridden in a cab in New York City? Oh, it's an experience. Cab drivers in New York City are a breed unto themselves. Cabbie was going down the street, three drunks on the side of the street in front of a bar flagged him down. And I mean, they were absolutely wiped out. They got in the cab. Cabbie, being a little unscrupulous, said, I can make a little money here. Turned on the meter, clean, started the car, went 2 beat, turned off the car, turned off the meter, said, fellas, you're here. That'll be $20 apiece. First one handed his $20 over and staggered out of the car. Second one handed his $20 over and staggered out of the car. Third one gave him his $20 and hit him in the back of the head. He said, oh, Lord, I thought I'd get away with that. He said, caught up with me. What was that for? He said, sir, you got us here, but next time, don't drive so fast you can kill all of us. They do better. Should I tell them the one about the no? So who haven't I picked on in this fair group? You know, most of you have reported one way or the other. We're going to have to get some people back in here that have not reported in the past. Ron Carter, you did once, didn't? No, I did your significant, Rotary best friend. Do you still remember who yours is?
I tried to block her out.
Oh.
Poor Brenda.
Would you tell us about your best friend?
My former best friend. Now, actually, I rubbed my tickets on her shoulder today. I've got a good chance with Brenda Henley. We all know Brenda from the real estate business side. I have to think back now, 3 boys and a girl. Am I close?
3 boys and a girl. I'm just like you.
I've got 3 boys. I quit over it.
I quit it.
Until Martin lost one.
I quit it.
Brenda, her and her husband live on a ranch farm out North Charlotte Road, beautiful place. She's into horses. Actually, when we were sharing our life history or whatever together, I guess, she indicated that she loved to go to the beach, and I was headed there the next day. So I went to the beach for her.
Good, good.
Just one big favorite ever.
Thank you, Mom.
I can't remember a whole lot more. It's been a while.
That's okay. You've done really well.
Yeah, Brenda Henley, go see her if you need to buy her still real estate.
There you go.
See, you can say that about your best friend. You can even, when I ask you for an occupational report, you can brag on your business, try to sell them something, take names, whatever. Mayor Rick, we're sure glad to have you here today. I know they'll welcome you, but your choice of tables is questionable. Because you're way too young to sit here. But we're glad to have you with us.
I was warned that when I sit down.
Did you? Okay.
First.
Raise the intelligence.
Okay. Kurt, you want to do the secretary's report?
I counted 25 Rotarians and 3 guests plus our speaker today. And first guest I would like to introduce is Dr. Dan West. He's here, he used to be Lyon College president in years past, and he has graciously agreed to come back and serve as interim VP for advancement while we do a national search for a permanent VP. And we're particularly grateful because in order to do that, he's commuting every week by plane from Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
So thanks very much and welcome.
Thank you.
And I saw 2 guests over here, if you would stand and introduce yourselves.
I am Daisha Childress. We are from the student council at Batesville High School. And Beth Beck.
Welcome. I don't think I missed anybody.
Okay, Brenda and Deanna, do you guys have anything you want to mention today?
We do have, thanks to Brenda, the Thanksgiving cards are on the tables. Please sign and keep those moving. We'll deliver those to the residents at Batesville Health and Rehab in Woodlawn, and they will much enjoy our greetings. And then Sunday is your opportunity to help clean up the highway. What time are we meeting,
2
Brenda?
o'clock to 4. 2 to 4,
From-
Edenville, Kelly White.
But we'll start at 2 o'clock.
Start at 2.
2 o'clock sharp at the Kelly Wyatt's restaurant.
The old Kelly White's restaurant?
Yes.
Old Kelly White's restaurant across from Kent Service Station.
Yes. Please
2
help
o'clock.
us.
We need lots of people to show up for that.
Sunday, right, we had about 7 people signed up before, lots of people showed up. Weather wasn't parking windows, but this Sunday, it'll be dry, it'll be cold, it'll be dry, we're gonna have hot chocolate after.
Awesome.
And the more people that show up, the quicker it'll go.
Yes. Come help us out. That's all from there.
That's all we have right now.
Okay. Ken, do you have anything you need to report on? No report, okay. Kathy Drew is our door greeter today. Thank you, Kathy. It looks like you're up next week. Okay, just a couple of quick reminders. The Christmas party / 75th celebration is coming up on December 14th. We hope to have sign-up sheets out pretty soon on that. We're also going to try to get it posted on DAC-DB today to where you can sign up. It's going to be here at Line upstairs at 6 p.m. We'll start. I have some Who's Who forms. It's going to be kind of a fun thing that we're going to do that night at the party. I laid them out on the tables last week. I also attached them to the email that I sent out this past Friday. I have a few here. If you're interested in having a little fun and want one of those, just see me and I'll get you one or print one off your email. Off your email from last week and turn that back into me. Also for the party, I'm still looking for some speakers. If there's anybody that wants to get up and say a few words, if you have a story that you want to tell about our club or something that's happened in the past or anything like that, if you would let me know, I'm going to start scheduling in some slots. Dr. Bob Warner from Jonesboro is going to come over and be our main guest speaker. But I want anybody that wants to say something that night to have the opportunity. So please let me know if you want to speak any of that night. Coming up pretty soon, I guess about 2 weeks from tonight, is the Christmas parade, November 30th. We've got lots of candy. Keep bringing it in. We're trying to get a few floats together. Steve's been working on that. I've been trying to help him a little. We should hopefully have some more news on that to come. But we will need people to help walk in the parade and pass out candy. So get ready to help us with that. There's an envelope going.
Where do we gather for that?
We usually gather at the old Regions Bank building on Main Street, that big glass building there on Main. We usually just kind of meet right there in the parking lot. Sometimes about 6 o'clock, between 6 and 6:30 usually. The Rose Bowl envelope is going around. The Rotary International is doing a float in the Rose Bowl parade. I know I passed it around last week, and there were a lot of people that weren't here, so I went ahead and passed it around again this week. If you wanted to drop $1 in there, go ahead and just get it back to me. And then they mentioned that this Sunday is highway cleanup from 2 to 4 o'clock. It may not take that long if we have several people show up, so come on out and help us get that done. All right. Today, our speaker is Mr. Mayor Rick Elumbough. He doesn't really need much introduction. He's been here several times before. We're very glad and happy to have him today. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Rick.
Thank you, Amanda. It's always good to be here in front of the Rotary. Hi, Steve. I'm glad you got a front seat, so I know you had to get here early to get that. So, actually got here last. Okay, is that right? Okay. Okay, let's see if I can find my notes. You're going to feel good because I've got them on the back of my card right here. So this is going to be a short speech. We're going to get back to work real quick today on Monday. But anyway, like I said, greatly appreciate the opportunity to be here. I guess I have that moving Batesville forward, and I think that is basically our first slide. Let me see if I've got this. I think I'll point this direction, right?
You shouldn't have to point.
Okay. Sure I have this. Okay, I'm not pointing something correctly here. Let me see. I've always struggled with technology. Steve Massey, that's why you're on the front row. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, I'm going to talk about 5 things today. Talking about our new Terry Sims Sports Complex and the wastewater, Main Street, and I think I've got wastewater down here twice, and the community center. And there's something else in there that we'll probably discuss going down through here. All right, this is the new playground that we just had a ribbon cutting here just a couple weeks ago. One thing that's very unique now, when we passed the sales tax initiative in 2012, there's always 50-50 matching money with Parks and Recreation, but we could never go after the 50% match because we never had anything to match it with. So we've been very fortunate this year. We had the opportunity to upgrade our lights on our softball complex out there. When we did the initiative, we really wanted to go in the North Complex, and we wanted to go in there and totally renovate. But just due to the large project that we had to cut something out. So the old parks did not get the attention that we wanted to give them. And we did get a new concession stand a few years back. That was because of a fire. Unfortunately, we had a fire, but the good thing we got to replace that. Now we have matching money. This is right in front of the T-ball fields out there. I don't know if you've been out there. If you go out there on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's completely packed out there. So like I said, we're very fortunate we got that. We also, when we purchased the 10 acres for the complex, we needed that 10 acres, and it was a great help because we also purchased that land right there with the 50-50 match. Okay, let's go right into Main Street. Of course, we're having a big revitalization there. If you've been down Main Street, you either love it or you hate it. But let me tell you what's happening on Main Street. A lot of things are happening. About 2 years ago, we had Dan Burden. He came in and he basically he advised us. We got a huge turnout on Main Street. He said, what do you want? How do you want to revitalize this? And he said, this is basically what's going to work. It's a very cold day. We walked down Main Street and he pointed out things that needed to be done. Mr. Bob Carius, I tell you what, kudos to Mr. Bob Carius, because he has taken the torch and he has run with it. If you go down Main Street right now, the store fronts are getting filled up. We're going to have 2 new restaurants opening soon, after the first year, and a bakery down on Main Street. So those are things that are happening right there. Very excited about that. Of course, we have the Barnett building. The city went into basically a partnership with Main Street Batesville and the city of Batesville, and we have, like I said, the Barnett building. One thing that we are actually, we're getting a proposal together for the Independence County Library. The board has changed. They're moving forward, and they're going to do something, I promise you. So hopefully, I think that would be a great location. There's 15,000 square foot on the bottom floor. And let me tell you what, that building is ready to move into right now. The city has spent money on upgrading the elevator. We did roof repairs, HVAC. And how many of you have been up on the 3rd floor into the banquet room? That banquet room up there is available for any type of programs. If you have a large gathering, Main Street is taking care of that, facilitating that. I think I don't even really know what the exact price is, but it's a great facility. And the really cool thing about it, it has a disco ball in the building. So I think you said 300, isn't that right? 400. Oh, 400? Okay. But like I said, it is a very nice facility. It also has a commercial kitchen off to the side there. So if you need catered, you have everything right there that you need.
Mayor?
Yes.
It's 200 if it's a nonprofit organization, 400 for others.
Okay, all right, very good. So nonprofit, something like Rotary, if they wanted to host their banquet or some type of regional, then they could utilize that area right there. And like I said, it's really a nice area, a nice place to host. And so I think this is the crowd on Halloween night. I was out of town that night, but they said 3,000 to 5,000 people were on Main Street. They always said, we have a problem parking. We had 3,000 to 5,000 on Main Street, and Main Street was blocked off for parking. So imagine that. Where did everybody park? All right, now, the new wastewater plant. I don't know how much people are going to appreciate this, but the city of Batesville would be struggling right now if this wastewater plant did not go online. In 2009, a sales tax initiative was passed. Now, it takes that long. We're looking at almost 9 years to get this thing up and online right there. We would not have any growth in our poultry industry. A gentleman told me this morning, said, if you think our poultry industry is growing now, wait. Batesville has set themselves aside. We have the capacity, not only for chicken processing, but also food processing. So this is very important to our community. There's communities right now that are struggling. Harrison, Arkansas, they're at their limits. Well, what they're trying to do right now is twist the arm for EPA to raise the limits a little bit on discharging, and that's going to be a struggle for them. And they really don't have a plan right now to increase their capacity. So Batesville is, like I said, this is huge. This is actually a part of it. Everybody said, we're spending about $50 million on this wastewater facility. But believe me, like I said, it's going to pay dividends. This is where the screw pumps are. This is where the tunnel, I think we've talked about the tunnel. There is a tunnel that goes completely under the golf course right there. That allows our community to have a gravity flow instead of having a lot of pump stations everywhere. But this is where the sludge and everything will be picked up right here. And only one of these, I think it has a capacity per day about 10 million gallons a day just for one screw pump right there. We have a large flood, then you can turn on the second and the third one. Like I said, we're just now, that's a lift station that pumps the wastewater from lagoons into the plant there. You can see this is quite a bit of investment. Now, this is where the media tanks, where the aeration speeds up the biological process. And I don't know, when they first trying to sell this, we had a little bitty plastic pellets that sort of looks like okra. That's what in there. There's thousands and thousands of this right here. That is actually where, like I said, the biological process there. I can't get into the chemistry part of it because, like I said, that's way above my knowledge of the wastewater plant. But this is something that's very crucial. That pond, that right there, that vat is 20 foot deep. This is the blower building that provides the air to the slide that I just showed you there. Of course, some more of the equipment, the blowers inside the blower building. Okay, these machines remove the very fine particles, matter in the final stage before the clear waters. It's chlorinated and released back into the White River. And like I said, it's much cleaner. I asked Damon Johnson, our city engineer, I said, so does that mean that we can drink the water? He said, well, I would not advise you drinking the water, but it's cleaner than the water in White River right now as when it comes in. So this is very, very important that we do put clean water back in. New laboratory building, and you can see right there it's already in use. They've already moved in that area. We're not fully operational, but we're getting it online just a little bit at a time. The new office and the control building, and this was all built. How many of you been down to the wastewater plant before? It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Okay, John, it's, you know, like I said, it's on Riverbank Road. If you turn left by Josie's, of course, you cannot tour that, but we will have an open house down there. Just like Doug Matthews, Dr. Matthews mentioned, said, this is not really the most sexy thing that you want to talk about, but it's something that's very essential. Every time you run the faucet, flush the toilet, so it's very crucial. And one thing about it, it is very, very crucial to PICO and OMP at this time. They would not be here. If you guys can remember back, Townsend's was basically bankrupt. PICO came in. The first question PICO asked, what is your wastewater capacity going to be? OMP, the first time before they even made an offer on to purchase OMP, they wanted to know what was your wastewater capacity. We also have a security system there. So if you guys are familiar where the boat ramp is located below the dam right there, we have a security system that a camera that reaches all the way over there. We can read license plates, so be careful when you go down there, guys. This is the monitor. Right there on the monitor, they can look at the monitor and they can adjust any type of operations of the complete sewer plant right there. The flow, the intake, the fans, the discharge, or it can be totally shut down from right there by just the push of the button. Before I start talking about this wastewater plant, when it was started in 09, or 10 is basically when they started turning dirt on it, this was the largest plant of this new technology in the world. Now it is the third largest. So it's one of the top three. So our engineers are saying we will probably have a lot of different cities and towns and states come to Batesville to view this plant. Now the unique thing about this, if Batesville grows, you can, like I showed you the large vat where I was talking about the media and everything was there. All we have to do is build another modula to increase the flow. So that's very crucial. Now, one thing everybody has their eye on. Now, this is something that someone drives by every day. Now, no one ever asked me when is the wastewater plant going to be finished. No one. But when you drive by the community center, everyone is asking, when are you going to finish that thing? And guys, I know I'm going to be asked the question, what is the finish date on this? And I'm not going to lie to you because I don't know. So I'm not going to give you a day right now. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to show you some of the construction. Okay, that one just skipped over real quick. I punched it twice. That's as you come into the building, that is the center archway. and now you will see the redwood as you come in there. So it's really going to be a nice, when you come in, you look up in the ceiling, and not all of it's going to be that way, it's just the entry when you go into the community center area there. Now, just to review that, this is inside the gymnasium, and that's fairly large. You can see the pickup truck down the very end. Back and behind that, that's the one racquetball court. You can see where the rails are. You may see the gentleman maybe standing over, another one looking at blueprints right there on the left of the screen there. That is the indoor walking track. That's going to be an eighth of a mile. I know a lot of you probably know what the facility is going to have in it, but I'm going to go through some of these things. This is the gymnasium area, indoor walking track. It will also have a caterer's kitchen right off the side. So what do I mean by a caterer's kitchen? If we have someone that wants to cater a large event, this right here will also have a portable stage. We'll be able to set up the stage on the end, or if you're a smaller conference, we can set one up in the middle, or if we want to pull the curtain to the gymnasium, you can have approximately one gym floor if you want to have a smaller conference or some type of a activity going on. How many will it seat? And portable seating on here, 2,000 plus on this gymnasium floor right here. So it's going to give Batesville their first opportunity to have a large venue here. You can see a lot of activity going on. This is a lot of the duct work that's going on. There's work going on as we speak. Like I said, the gymnasium's already in the dry. The sprinkler system, you can see the black pipes with the red, the fittings right there. That's the sprinkler system that's going through there. Some of the air handlers. Now, this is the outside. It's going to have the aquatics part. We're going to have an indoor aquatics facility, then we're going to have an outdoor aquatics facility. The outdoor you can see right there, and then I'm going to show you some of the construction pictures that are going on as we speak. You can see one of the umbrellas at the top, the little umbrella on that's a playground right there. That's a zero entry playground. So when you get ready to walk into the pool area right there, you will just walk in. Instead of the old pools that were built in the 50s and the 60s, are more like a rectangle. This one has a lot more features. They're more like huge playgrounds. But that is like a hot tub up there. It's not really going to be hot water. It's going to be the same temperature. But if parents want to sit up there and there, it will be with air generating like a hot tub, and the water will spill over into where the playground area is. You can see the little playground set. And then the other area is like a little mushroom there, buckets that will fill up and spill in that area. You can see the diving well over there. You can see the small diving board. That's the red and the blue. That is the slides area. And this other thing over here is a 400-foot lazy river. This one on this end. And that will be where you put an inner tube in there, you sit on the inner tube, and you just float in rotation. A pump house right here for the aquatic facility. Now that's the construction of the pool there. You're talking about the dive well. You can see the mini excavator over there. That is the dive well area right there. And this is the lazy river closest to the left of the screen. That's the area that will have moving water like a current. One other thing that it can be utilized, there's a lot of seniors, a lot of people have walking programs, and they utilize this early in the mornings to walk against the current to give a little bit of resistance. Another angle of the pool, this is from the back of the community center if you were looking out. I think it's from the top deck there. This is another area, this is a view of that hot tub area that I was mentioning. You can see the piping. I'm sure that's for the jacuzzi movement in the water. Zero entry pool. That's from the other end as you walk into where the playgrounds will be, where you can see the land, where the rebar is located. And now the next thing, I knew there was something else, the Batesville Police Department. That is something that is new. We started patrolling the streets in June of this year, mid-June. Now, when Independence County was running it, we had 2 officers 24/7 on the streets. Now we have 4 to 5 officers patrolling every day, 24/7. Community-based, we're on bikes, we're out, we're at the school campuses in the mornings, we're there in the afternoons. That is something that we've really gotten good positive feedback about the police department. We're hitting every street. Our patrol officers go by on every street in the city of Batesville every day. East side, west side, all of our areas. We're going to be there, we're going to be present. We want to, like I said, policing today wants to be community-based. We want to be visible, we want to be there for you, and like I said, we've had very positive feedback. We don't want to write a bunch of tickets, that's not our own, but we do want to slow individuals down. So that's the main objective of our police department right now. Chief Cockrell, he's doing a wonderful job. This right here is Lieutenant Scarborough, and actually that is his daughter right there. We thought that was a good picture. That's who we want to present to there, is the community base. And we also just had 3 new officers to graduate on Friday. They'll be getting on the streets real soon. So that's pretty much my PowerPoint right there. I know there's a lot of questions. I do know one thing that I want to comment is that the Chamber of Commerce and several individuals have been going through Impact Independence County. I think that's going to be very crucial for our community. Our last council meeting, I know Kathy, you were there. We had one of the groups, I think they're broken out in education, tourism, economic development, but the tourism committee came. We had a report for about 25 or 26 of them, and one thing that I like, Kathy, I really like the energy that these individuals, a lot of new faces are getting involved in Batesville and Independence County, and it's amazing. Tourism is a $6 billion industry. It's the 2nd largest industry in the state of Arkansas. And that's crucial. They want to try to capitalize on this, make Batesville a destination. Now, I can go back to the community centers and like that. I had a friend this weekend. He spent the weekend in Heber Springs. There was over 20 swim teams involved in Heber Springs over the weekend. Volleyball, we're going to try to bring them in, club volleyball. Our baseball fields, we had 9 teams scheduled last year, 9 tournaments. I think we ended up, had a lot of rain. I think we ended up with 5 or 6 tournaments there. It's a very good economic impact so far on our community. We want to continue to build the community. One thing that I must say is infrastructure is the most crucial that we can do. We've got the wastewater. We have to continue to concentrate now. You can never stop. Here in the Arkansas State, actually a state chamber director just a couple of weeks ago, the time you put a new street down or asphalt down, it starts deteriorating that day. And that is something right here in our own community. If we put down new asphalt, eventually you're going to have a plan to replace that. I cannot emphasize enough of what we're going to have to do with our infrastructure in this community. If we want to be the community that people want to move to, want to live in, we have to have infrastructure, we have to have quality of life, we have to include all of it. And I just can't say enough about that right now. But another thing is our water. We already have a water plan. We're probably going to have to upgrade. We're going to have another water tower here very soon. I'd say in the next 3 to 5 years. Another thing and that's going to be about a $10 million, but we have structured that in the water rates, so there will not be any type of a sales tax increase on that. The wastewater, like I said, it's continue. Our capacity is going to be, it should be a number of years. It should be 20 years before we even have to add a modula. If we have to add another one in 10 years, that's great. We'll be ready for it. We'll be ready to do that. With the wastewater also, one of the large things we've got, there's a $10 million segment. We're working on easements right now. There will be a 48-inch line that will leave from Riverside Park. This will tie it into the tunnel. We have not directed our flow to the tunnel at this time, but that 48-inch line And one reason that we've had to slow down just a little bit on it is because PICO and OMP is growing so much, we had to change the placement of where the line would cross them. This line is going all the way into West Batesville, over in the area. If you're familiar where Charles Street, the Golden Overpass, it will go all the way over into the West Batesville area. I think it reduces, when it gets to the West Batesville area, it goes from a 48-inch down to a 36-inch. So that's going to be something that's going to be very crucial. One other thing, I know this year we had kind of an outriggers. We had an individual who offered floating down the bayou, and I feel like this was very successful. There's 2 sewer pipes right now that are exposed. One of them is ready to be removed. So if you've ever had the opportunity to float Polk Bayou, it's a very unique float, even leaving from White Drive down to the mountain. It's about a 2 or 3 hour float. But the second one, there's another one closer to the jail area, another pipe. Hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to, remove that. So like I said, we've got a lot of things going in the city, a lot of exciting things. The impact, the other one I was going to touch on is economic development, which is very, very crucial. I know, I guess it was last year or the year before, we had a incentive, I believe a quarter-cent sales tax initiative. It failed. I think that is one thing that's going to be very important for our community. We're going to have to look at something at some point. I do know that we've got, in the last election cycle also, we passed a half-cent for all of our fire departments all over Independence County. That one will be rolling back to, I think, a quarter-cent here, maybe by 2017 or 18, I believe, when it will be cut back to a quarter-cent. But I think it's something that the cities, if we're going to be able to compete with other cities, we're going to have some type of a bonus or something for those individuals to come in. One thing, I did get a call a couple of weeks ago. It's actually a little bit longer than that, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was in West Africa at the time that I got the call from the individual. We had an industry that was looking. They used to be located in Heber Springs. And now a lot of people say they don't locate in places where they can't make money. This company wanted to locate in Heber Springs, Arkansas. Why did they want to locate in Heber Springs, Arkansas? It's because they like Heber Springs. Not because of the roads, not because of the highways. They do not have anything at this time. So my good mayor friend up there called me here in Batesville, said, do you have anything? I said, we have the White Rogers building. They have come here and they've looked at that. They're also looking in Searcy. Hopefully, like I said, we have to look at all leads that come through. But this individual is looking for a place for quality of life. So I think that's going to be very important for our community. We've got the quality of life, we've got the infrastructure. And like I said, I'm excited about Batesville, Arkansas. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Nashville, Tennessee, National League of Cities. And it was after, and like I said, when I do get away, I always try to have a little fun also. But the CMA things were there. I bought a ticket on the street because my wife was with me. She said, you spent 2 weeks in West Africa and you have not taken me anywhere, so she put the guilt trip on me and I got CMA tickets. What my story, it was very unique. If you've ever been to CMAs, it's a pretty unique experience, kind of being behind the scenes. Of course, just put it this way, my seat, there was no one behind me. So I couldn't turn around and talk to anyone. But I was in the building. But the point what I was going to make, after the CMA Awards, we were walking back to our hotel. We met some friends, and like I said, there was all type of people playing on the street. And one gentleman, he was packing up his guitar and he was leaving. And he said, you know what I don't like about Nashville? And I said, no, sir. And he said, not a damn thing. And I said, that's what I think about Batesville, Arkansas. So, anyway, guys, we have time for questions. Yes, sir.
First off, you're talking about the sewer plant and connecting. There are a lot of those big pipes in place already. When do you think they will be connected to them? I just don't know when they're going to dig up my yard.
I don't think we're coming your way.
Yeah, you have, you've already come across.
Yeah, we have,
But
so we're not gonna dig those up again.
No,
Yeah.
no, but we have to connect to them, that's what I'm interested in.
You're right, but I think that, you know, when they came up through that valley right there, that was for some infrastructure that was old. They did a comprehensive plan all over, they did the smoke test, all over the city of Batesville, and they identified areas that needed attention. And your area right there was one of those that needed attention. So,
What they did really improved the neighborhood, the way it opened it up. The nice grassy area we have now, but it's we're still not connected to that part. So I guess it's not connected to anything that's working.
yeah, that would probably be a Damon Johnson question right there. But like I said, the easements was the only thing that is slowing us up right now, and the two poultry plants that have come in, which that's a good thing, because they're building in some areas where we were gonna place it, but we have, like I said, we have a plan right now. We're trying to get an easement through the railroad, and that's a struggle. You know, you can never talk to the same person every time you call the railroad. So we do have our challenges, but we do feel confident, hopefully this spring we can start that. The other water project, like I said, it would be 3 to 5 years.
Second question is, now you have your budget in place for next year. How many blocks of paving have you provided for?
You know, actually, we do not have the budget in place. We are working now on that as we go. Last year, we were very fortunate. We got some state aid money, and with the city money, we did probably about $750,000 in paving last year. We got a large project. One area that we're really targeting right now for next year will be 20th Street that runs from basically the Mickey Mouse pool, and hopefully we're going to put enough in the budget to go all the way out to 167, the stoplight right there with Southern Bank. But that's one street that we're targeting right there. So we'll probably next year, water department, we just completed some paving on 20th Street. A lot of those streets are getting repaved because we've had to replace a water line or a sewer line. Most places that you see that are being excavated in the streets, and they're going down the middle of the street, that has to do with your sewer line right there. That's part of the comprehensive plan. They've located that area that is in most need. And most of, in wastewater thing, you get a lot of infiltration, and that's what we're trying to correct. Infiltration is that's a big problem in any type of community. You've got groundwater going in. So we're trying to eliminate all those bad places. West side, there's probably more. West side, Batesville is getting more attention to the roads over there because their sewer system is the oldest. But sometimes that we have found out, sometimes it's not always the oldest. It may have been the material that was used, even on a new project, and it was faulty. So we've had to go back and replace that.
Did I hear correct that underneath the walkway, you'll have three basketball courts?
Yes. Yes, sir. There will be 3 courts, and that'll accommodate 6 volleyball courts.
Have there been any prices established for community center as far as for joining?
We're getting close to that. We've tried to evaluate every facility in the state of Arkansas. Our facility is going to offer more than we've looked at in the state. Not everyone has the outdoor aquatics. Not everyone has the indoor aquatics. Not all of them have a little fitness center inside. Right now, we're pretty much set on this. If you are a senior, 65 and older, it's going to cost you $10 a month to get in. We're looking, now, like I said, these are not written down, but this is something we're looking at. $10 a month for seniors. For an individual under that, it's going to be about $20. 64 and under, about $20 per month. Families, we'll probably add another 15 for the spouse, and then we'll probably look for, for kids. But if you look at all the ones around the state, we will probably have the best bang for the buck because there's going to be more offered in there. And the indoor aquatics area, the 10-lane indoor pool, and I know I've talked to the group about this before, and as well as Jeff Owens, our parks director, but the therapeutic pool that's going to be a very important tool, to especially a lot of the individuals who are rehabbing knees and shoulders. So we're very, very excited about that, as well as the little play area. And I will have to say thank you to Wes Shelton and his lovely wife. You know, they lost their son. They actually they have established in the naming of Taylor McKean. The Taylor McKean Foundation have given $25,000 for that little splash pad inside. Now, that brings up the opportunity also that I know you guys are very excited about. There will be opportunities. We will have 4 meeting rooms. We'll have 2 board rooms. We will have the little fitness center. We will have the workout room. We will have the racquetball court. We will have each basketball court. But there is an opportunity out there that I know you guys, and hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. I know we're in, the Maxwell room right here. That name did not get on there just because they really said, let's just name this after the Maxwell family. So anyway, Steve Massey, I can see you grabbing for your wallet. Oh, that's your umbrella. I'm sorry. But there will be opportunities.
Let's say the Rotary Club was wanting to meet there with their, have y'all set a charge for that?
We have not. I think Amanda and I, we visited about that opportunity right there. Bentonville, their Rotary Club is meeting in their new community center there. And actually, I guess they went to them before. They even made their own little closet for the Rotary Club there in Bentonville. But those opportunities are, yeah, Amanda is already hitting me up for that. So we will visit on that. There will be 4, like I said, meeting rooms, or if you open the petition, you can go into another room. It will basically be close to this size right here, so you could open up and make 2 rooms, or you have 1. Or 4 if you wanted all 4 of the rooms there.
We're doing a literacy project for the library, and we're going to donate a book on your behalf. It says Commotion in the Ocean. This book is donated on behalf of Batesville Mayor Rick Elumbough for speaking to the Rotary Club of Batesville on November 16, 2015. All right. 595-114.
Yes, I'll take one.
114. Oh, Dennis says it's his.
There's something said about sitting by the mayor. I don't play favorites.
You know what I was trying to think of when we left?
By the way, the pot was up to $626 today, which means you would have took home $313. We're getting closer and closer. Does anybody have anything else for the good of Rotary? Okay, if not, we'll end like always with the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Number 1.
Is it the truth?
Number 2.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Number 3.
Will it build goodwill